thousands of workers manned the 16 iron and steel mills that were stretched along the rivers and outskirts of Pittsburgh. The largest employer was Andrew Carnegie. By 1890, Carnegie was the richest man in America. His net worth estimated at over 100 million. In today's dollars, he was a billionaire. The embodiment of the American dream, Carnegie became spokesman for the country's industrial aristocracy. It was a time of no income tax and little government interference. The divide between rich and poor grew to a colossal scale. Carnegie's continual demand for lower costs often pushed his workers to the limits of endurance.
The standard work week in the steel industry was 84 hours per week. And they worked for very low wages. For 84 hours of brutal labor in the steel mills was often less than $10 a week.
In the winter of 1891, Carnegie took over the Homestead Mill.
Homestead was a particular bastion of Union power. The issue ultimately was trying to get the Union out.
At the time, Carnegie's second in command was Henry Frick.
Frick was violently anti-labor and fought the attempts to organize the steel workers with ruthless methodology.
By that time, Carnegie was under a lot of pressure from his directors and from Frick, who felt that he had made a mistake by being too cozy with organized labor, especially with skilled workers. What Carnegie did here, I think, is very interesting. He went to Europe, he went to England, and let Frick run things.
The Union called a strike on June 29, 1892. Hundreds of Carnegie's workers walked off their jobs in protest of wage cuts. Frick was determined to personally handle the Homestead negotiation. That meant breaking the Union's hold on the Homestead Works.
He basically turned the Homestead Works, which are right outside of Pittsburgh, into an armed camp. And he hired a fleet of Pinkerton agents. And so Frick, well in advance, was not hiding the fact that he was probably going to go toe-to-toe and come into conflict with the Union.
It's certainly true that Carnegie regretted the bloodshed in the sense that it was a blot on his reputation. I mean, he was the person who had gone around talking about rights of labor and slogans like "Thou shalt not take thy neighbor's job," and to be connected with a notorious episode like this, prompted by what was obviously an intent to bring in scab labor, resulting in bloodshed. I mean, this was a real blot on his charisma.
Carnegie's victory demolished the strength of organized labor in the steel industry for decades. But Homestead was also a turning point for the industry, a bloody signpost marking the end of an age and the beginning of an era of consolidation as American steel became a global power.